And this is Toby. And welcome to episode 41 of a Tobyknits podcast. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. Grab a cup of tea, because you might need it. I do try to keep them 20 to 30 minutes, but you know, as my mother used to say, I have the gift of the gab, so I might talk a lot. I talk mostly about my knitting, my crochet, sewing, and bag making. And I might have a couple of new things to chat about today because I'm retired and I do lead a crafty life. I live outside of Ottawa in a little village with my husband Bob and Toby, and I am originally from England, but I've been here a long time now, so I don't particularly use my Scouse accent because you probably wouldn't understand me. Only my dad does, and my mate. Anyway, I do have a list because I do tend to get off topic, and normally the process that I go with my video is finished objects, FOs, works in progress, whips, and then my shop update. That's typically what I talk about. Today we're going to do a little bit different. Today we're going to go in sections. I could have got a job at an airport, couldn't I really? Maybe a police person. So today we're going to start off with crochet. This is in no particular order, but we're going to start with crochet. And I have a finished object in my crochet to show you. And I showed you this last week as a whip, and I got it finished. And it is another wall hanging. Oh, look. Is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? And it was so different from the previous wall hanging that I did because this one has a fringe bottom all the way along. So I had to cut all these pieces, and then, you know, it does still have the lovely, the whale. Isn't he cute? With his little extras on and his water spout. But then the top is actually crocheted on, which I thought was very interesting to do it that way. The other one I sewed on, and this one has a crocheted on dowel, which gives this lovely effect here. And again, you have your chain hang. So isn't that lovely? I think that's super cute for a nursery wall. Just love that. And it was fun to make. It didn't really take me long at all. I think it took a day or two to do, well, maybe 3 days to do the background, which is all done intarsia method. So you're picking up and dropping strands and sort of doing all this in one color, and then that in another, and then another. And so that is all done in one. So that's the back. So there's not very many big loops or floats. And then after you've done that, you do all these bits extra and put them on. And this was interesting because this one, you use dental floss to attach to the top so that you don't, so it doesn't flop down too far. It does stick up better. But you're not using the blue thread, which would show through. But I thought that was pretty cool. So that is my finished object for my crochet. And then in the Carson bag, this is a Carson bag, which is in my shop. I don't know if this particular one is, but there's a few other similar in my shop, and they have a zipper on the front to put notions in, and inside you can stack a ton of stuff. It's a little bigger than the Netherwood bag. So in here I am doing from this book, which is a really nice book. I got this years ago in Chapters, I think. I am doing Cuddly Baby, which I thought was really sweet. And so I'm doing Cuddly Baby, and I have done his hat, which is partly stuffed at the moment. And it's in, I'm using I'm using paint box yarns in the Aran weight, and which is for his head. That's light champagne. And the body and the hat is in Bernay Handicraft jute. And I'm also using the green, which I think is also a handicraft. No, that's not it. Where'd the green come from? No, I think the green's a paint box yarn, which I can't find. Oh, maybe it's this one. Pistachio green. And the hook size is 3.5. So, and I've just done, so that's the hat and the head. So it kind of will go, if I can make it stay on a minute, it will kind of go on him like that, or her, I'm not quite sure. And then I have one leg started, and I'm on the other leg, and then I will join them together to make the body. So that is what I'm working on. And like I said, I have got tons and tons of balls of yarn in here. So it's a pretty good size. I don't know, it's not the best maybe to hold a big project. And once this starts making up into the little animal that he is, little, it's not an animal really, is it? What is it? Oh, is it an animal? What? Whatever it is, then it will, I won't be able to put the finished doll in there. I don't think it'll fit with the wool, but just love making bags though. Anyway, so that's crochet. Now we did pull the trailer out yesterday, and I am working on a big blanket, which I started last year, called the Rainbow Sampler Blanket by Hack Marak. Yeah, Hack Marak. And I got it out to see, I'll show it you, hang on. So it's just here. My friend and I, Karen, decided to do this at the same time. She finished hers, I didn't, because I got too hot making it last summer. So I put it away and still didn't get it out. So it is queen size bed size, and so I can't hold it all up. And this is where I'm up to. And it was released as a weekly pattern thing, so it was a lot of fun at the time until I got too hot. You can see it goes on forever. Yeah, there we go. So it starts there and it goes. The colors are lovely. Now in the original pattern, where is white was gray, and where the gray is was supposed to be white. But I thought that was too dark for me. I love a white background in anything I do, whether it's scrapbooking, knitting. I like white in my stuff, white space. So I changed it up. goes the hook to do the white, and I much prefer it. It's very much brighter. The hook size is a 5. I will leave a link to the pattern below. Actually, all the links now are going to be on my new blog, which is www.tobyknits.com, and I try to post twice a week on the blog post, and every other Wednesday is the video and blog notes, show notes. So you'll find all the information there, and I will leave a link to that pattern. I think you can buy it. I bought it off Ravelry, but there was a free version of a weekly in a Facebook page or something. So so I might dig this back out now, because I got my husband to pull the trailer out if we're gonna ever go camping, because I want it for the trailer for the bed. And I needed to see how long it was, because a trailer bed, I don't know if you know this, we have a queen size bed in our trailer, but it's shorter than a regular queen size bed. So I needed to make sure how many more sections I needed to do, because I think I'm on section 7 and it goes to 10. So I put it on the bed yesterday and looked, and I thought, maybe I can get away with just doing 2 more sections. So and I think there's about, I don't actually know how many, because they vary, because each week there's different stitches that you're doing. So some of them are bigger than others. Anyway, so I'll probably work on it a little bit more. And hopefully by the time we can go camping, I will be able to bring it with me. So that's crochet. That's crochet done, done, done. I have not worked anymore on my Mini Kingdom people, but I will be starting Drummer Boy soon, because my son's a drummer. So in my Netherwood bag, which is the small sock bag, it's smaller than the Carson bag, I have a finished object. It's them. It's them. I finished them! Oh my goodness, did you read my blog post the other week about these never-ending socks? Let me see if I can find a blocker. And I'll put them on the blocker to show you, because I haven't washed them yet. There we go, look at those. I actually loved this pattern. It was not the pattern that slowed me down. The pattern is Color Palette. I forgot who by. But again, the links will be on the blog page. And the yarn, I loved the pattern completely. It's really very easy to do. It wasn't a hard pattern to follow. And I love the yarn. The yarn is from Lay Family Yarns, Kelly from Lay Family Yarns. It was the February, because I was doing the Rainbow Sonicals, the Rainbow Chronicles sock along. And every month you do a new sock in a new color of the rainbow. And I thought that was a lovely idea. So I did January's. No problem, got them done in January. Started February's, was very excited to start February to use this beautiful yarn. And then here we are into May, and I've just finished them because I kind of got all, messed up with my amigurumi that I was focusing on, and so they didn't get finished. Plus, I usually knit socks in the car, because my bag is super easy to just grab and throw in the back of the car, and you've got something to do while you're driving. Well, I mean, not while you're driving. If you're knitting, I don't drive. My husband drives. So when we go anywhere in the car, I would take my knitting, because I'm one of those, drivers that like, oh, watch that car over there. Oh, somebody's going to cross the road. And so I freak my husband out. Poor guy. So I knit so that I don't cause us to have an accident. Anyway, so here are my lovely socks. I'm so happy that I have finished them, and I like them a lot. They're a lovely sock. Am I going to cast on another pair of socks? I don't really know right now. I think I've spent the last 3 or 4 years addicted to sock knitting, and I have a whole drawer full of socks. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make any more at the moment, but we'll see. Something might come up. So whips, knitting whips. I am making the Pemberton Sweater by, I forget who by. It will be in the show notes. Plus a link to the pattern. And it's lovely. I am really, really enjoying it. I am on the back. And I think this is where I was last time I saw you guys. And I have done all this part. It's super nice to do. It's a long time since I have done a flat knitted flat sweater. Usually I do in the round, but I keep thinking it's stuff on here, but it's the actual, it's a Lion brand yarn called Touch of Alpaca, and so it's, I think it's 80%, 90% acrylic and 10% alpaca. But it has this lovely pattern here. I'm 4 rows off of finishing this pattern, and then I believe I do this again, and then I will be starting on another. So this will be for Bob. I haven't got to the armholes yet. I think I'm close to the armholes. So anyway, this is the back, and the color is called Olive, and I am using a fixed pair of 4.5 millimeter needles. And the reason I'm saying it like that, I did start out with my Addy Clicks, and if you saw the blog post, they broke in the middle of a row, so I had to buy more. So anyway, this is, I'm really enjoying making this for my husband. It is in the prototype Fletcher bag, which looks like this. It's a big sweater bag. So there's the knitting and the crochet. Okay, now let's get on to some new stuff. I don't know whether any of you know this, but years and years ago, I cross-stitched. And I cross-stitched all the time. It was the only thing I did. I didn't knit until I got pregnant with my son, so. But from when I was about 19 or 20, I started cross-stitching, and that's all I did. I did one thing after another, after another, after another, and loved it. And then after I had started knitting for the boys and dressmaking and crocheting, you know, all these things, and I was working at the time, so a lot of it got left and I stopped doing it. Plus, I was having a bit of struggle with my eyes because I am short-sighted, so I can see close up without my glasses on. Well, I used to be able to, and I can't see far away. So when I would crochet, I literally would look underneath my glasses at my work. I wouldn't, you know, or I'd take them off and I'd do this. Of course, as I've got older, I can't see as well anymore. I need the trifocally things. So I had stopped crocheting, cross-stitching, until I was watching a podcaster who I love. She is amazing. Her name is Davina, and her podcast is called Little Workroom Crafts. I've watched her for a long, long time, and she does all kinds of crafts. And I also watch Ellie of Craft House Magic, and she does all kinds of crafts, and both of them do cross stitch. Anyway, I used to look at it and think, oh, that's kind of cute. But I was watching Davina's from about 3 episodes ago, and she mentioned this new cross stitch she was going to be doing with a friend, and she got the pattern and blah blah blah. So I looked up one of the things she's talking about, shops she was talking about, and it's called the Fat Quarter Shop, and it's in the States. And I fell down a rabbit hole for about 3 hours of looking at all this stuff. Now, it's primarily quilting, which I've never done. I sew, but I've never done. Because I kind of thought, what's the point in cutting up pieces of fabric and then sewing them all back together? It didn't make sense to me at the time. However, having gone through card making and scrapbooking over the last few years, where you're cutting up beautiful sheets of paper and then making small cards out of them by sticking them all back together, it's kind of the same thing. So anyway, that's beside the point. So I was looking on the website, because they do cross stitch, and a lot of the stuff they do, which I think is really cool actually, is they will do a quilt with a matching cross stitch picture. I thought that was very clever. Anyway, so I'm looking down this little rabbit hole thing, and I see this one cross stitch, which I think, oh, I might want to try that. And it's a mystery Sal stitch along. A mystery. And it's kind of, you can almost see through the fuzzed out picture that it must be nautical. And I love anything nautical. I have a son that lives out in the East Coast, and can't wait till we can go visit. So anyway, I decided I wanted to do this mystery cross stitch. And as I say, it's been so long since I've cross stitched. It has to be 15 years at least, maybe 20. And I have boxes of floss, of fabric, of kits not even opened. So I dug them all out, and I actually have 4 unfinished pieces, which are all kits. And so I have everything to do it with. I just have to finish them. So that's kind of exciting. But I thought, no, I don't want to start back with something that was old, because I might get bored with it again. Let's start with something new. I'll start with this mystery stitch along. Now, in those 20 years, like, I used to stick my stuff in a plastic bag, or in the bag that it came in, and that's what mine are all housed in. Little did I know, now they actually have cross-stitch project bags. Here is one I made this week. So it is, let's see what size this is. It is 10.5 by 13 inches. So it's quite big. I also put in a thicker Pellon interfacing, like, so it's squishy. It's, oh, you can't actually. And I put a zip in. Now this fabric was from one of my sewing box fabrics, which is a Canadian monthly fabric thing box. And I loved it, but I didn't particularly like the pattern that it called for. It was some iron board thing, and I didn't really like it. But I thought, ooh, I actually have enough fabric to make the bag. So I found a really good lady on YouTube, so I followed her instructions and I made the bag. And it's lined, it's fully lined. And it's, look, it's got all my cross stitch stuff in. Got my hoop, which is, yes, I use a hoop. I actually found that I have I did have a floor stand, don't know where it's gone. And I actually have one of them long bar ones that you hold like a baby, so you roll up your fabric. But I've decided I wanted to use the hoop, so I'm using a 7-inch hoop. And I have a little box with all my scissors and flossing. And here is the pattern. So each week, it started in April, and each week, each Friday, we get a new piece of the puzzle. So the first piece was 3 sides of your fabric was done in this border, all in one color. The second part of it was this, which is the bunting and the anchor. And I'm just on the one that was released Friday, which I think that's a lighthouse. Isn't that lovely? I really like this so far. I am anxious. There's 2 other parts to it, so I am going to be anxious to see how they come out. So that is my cross stitch, and I really, really like it. And I have had such a good time working on it. I actually haven't done any knitting this week since I started this, actually. So, because I'm just really, really enjoying working on it. And it's been so long since I've worked on cross stitch, and there are so many new sort of devices and things you can do. So, for example, I did print the pattern off, and I was using a highlighter to cross off where it was, but the print was small. I couldn't, I had to keep looking at it. So I thought, iPad. So on my iPad, I use for my knitting projects and crochet projects a thing called Knit Companion. And Knit Companion, when it loads up, you have all your, look at that, look at that. And you can make it smaller. So here is the pattern. And then what I do is there is a little thing here, which if I click on, it will open up all the colors. You can change the colors, do what you like, and you can then draw on it. And then there's a eraser. You can erase it. Isn't that super cool? So what I do with it, obviously, is and you can also put notes on to say when you started it, if you switched a color out, and then you've always got it. And so I just upload it into my Dropbox, and then I just go from there. And I actually started using this pen that my lovely friend Diana gave me from Welcome Home Interiors. And the end of the pen is, so I use that. So I make this bigger, and then I can use the pen and stay within the line, so I'm not going over the wrong line, and I do that. And then you can see I also have the Pemberton Sweater, and there is the blanket. So all of them are on here, so I can just, which has been great. So this has been a big help for looking at your pattern, but this has been the best help. I put this on at night, I turn my light on, and I use it for the fabric, and I just have it sitting there, and I can really see because it's lit up my fabric for me. So, and I use this when I'm reading in bed too. Actually, it's very comfortable. And I'll leave a link where I got this. Got it on Amazon. I think it was only like $24, and you can bend them, and there's 2 of them. You can change the colors of the light. You can make it like a yellow light or a blue light, so it's not as intense maybe. And there are 3 settings for each one. So love that light. And it was, I think it was Ellie from Craft House Magic who mentioned that light. So good job there, Ellie. So anyway, now then, so while I was on this quilt thing, now you all know I sew, but I've never quilted. So I thought, I wonder how hard it really is. I wonder how much fun it would be. And oh my gosh. So Fat Quarter Shop, if you don't know, has a YouTube channel where they show you how to put together the quilt blocks. And they also have a floss tube. And so each week she will, or I don't know how often they post, they will sit there and they'll cross stitch with you. And it's almost like one of those, it's alive. So you can go on with her and be doing it and take the notes. So that's kind of cool. And they have a blog called the Jolly Jabber blog. Well, on the Jolly Jabber blog, I love that name, Jolly Jabber. On the Jolly Jabber blog, they had posted that coming up in, I think it's being released in June, maybe the end of June, but it is a Halloween quilt, a mystery with a matching cross stitch mystery. And I obviously you finish it by October 31st. I don't know how, if just the whole quilt is a mystery, and then, or if each block each week, I don't know how it works yet, but I'm very curious because I thought that might be a nice way. And it's only a 40-inch square, so it's a lap quilt. I thought that might be fun to try to get into quilting. And you can buy all the fabric from them, or you can, and it's free. The pattern is going to be free, but you can buy the fabric from them if you want. But if you don't want to, then you can just buy fabric or use fabric you have at home. So I thought that was really good. And I think they'll do videos. So I might be interested in that. That's called Bats and Booze. And then they just announced this morning another one called Among the Stars Again, which I think was something they did last year. And it's a book, I think by Sew Emma, S-E-W Emma, I think. And the book itself, I might get the book. The book itself is, you can do a harvest blanket or a Christmas blanket. Of course, we all know what I'm going to pick. And it looks gorgeous. It really does. I'll put a picture of it here. And so I'm kind of tempted to maybe do that. You can, if you don't want to buy the book, you can buy the block each month, and I think it's like $4.95, and you get the pattern for the block, and then you would just use your own stuff. I think they might be putting fabric out with it, but again, I don't know, because they just announced it. And so yeah, I'm really interested. And they also do have, currently just started in April, they have a sewer's box. I don't know if I'm going to get that, a quilting box too. And you get fat quarters in it, and you get a project to do, I think, with the fat quarters that are in the box, but you also get, they have a monthly block of the month that started in April. And so I bought the block of the month because I thought, I'm going to just see if I can do it before I get into anything big, if I have the patience to be cutting all these things up and sticking them all back together. I made a block. I made my very first quilting block. Look at that. So I am very, very happy with that. And I use scrap fabric that I have at home. It's not the best fabric, but I tried to go with the colors that they had in their block. And because I think if you buy the set for the year, it's like $80 or $90, and that's US. So I don't know if I want to invest in that much fabric if I end up not doing this. But I figured if I buy just the pattern and use my own fabric, maybe I'll do it. I don't know. But I really like it. And there's the back. Like, so they tell you which way to iron the seams and stuff. Of course, I caught a few of them there, but... And yeah, and a lot of people said that I started with a hard one. I'm like, I didn't really find it that hard, but I don't know anything about quilting, so I guess I jumped into the fire, but I don't know. So I'm very happy with that, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't know if I will, and I'm going to see what May's block of the month is, because I don't think they release it till the end of each month, but we're nearly there. So hopefully I'll find out what that's going to look like. And there's a bunch of people that have really great quilting. What's the one that I followed the lady who did this? Becca Sews or something? So Becca? I'll put links in the blog that tell you all about it. And she literally went through it step by step. So I just followed along with her, which was awesome. And yeah, so anyway, I think that's all. Oh, last thing to tell you is my shop update. And this will be going into the shop. It is the Netherwood bag. And I made this one this week. It has muslin plain inside with a pocket, and it's a good size. I like this print, actually. It's very pretty, very bright and airy. Anyway, so this will be going in the shop, but what I'm working on is, the reason I made this is I have a pattern that I wrote out, but I decided I was going to photograph the whole step-by-step of making the bag and then release the pattern for sale, I'm thinking. So I haven't written it up yet, but let me know below if you would be interested in something like that, and I might consider doing them for all my other bags. And then that way you can make them yourselves at home and use your own fabrics and stuff. So yeah, so that's all I have for you today, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I am going to go sit outside. It has been beautiful here this week in Ontario. For the past 3 days, I think it's been like 21, 22, 23 degrees, sunny. We have all our deck furniture out. I've been sitting out there crocheting with Toby, and oh, it's been lovely. Today we're going to plant our flowers. We got flowers from the nursery, so we are going to be planting flowers this afternoon after I've edited this, of course. So hope you have a great week. Drop me some notes of kindness below. If you have any questions or comments, or let me know what you're working on right now, that would be lovely. I love interacting with my viewers. I have such a lot of them, but I don't hear from very many, so it's nice to hear from you. If you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. It costs you nothing to subscribe, and that way you'll get to see my videos when they pop up in your feed. I usually try to do them every 2 weeks. So there is an icon, a little bell thing you can click so you actually get notified when I release a new one, but subscribing is more important, really. And tell your friends, tell your friends. So have a great week, everybody, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.